Gentlemen, this marks the very beginning of the official proceedings here today. The Honorable Minister of Public Service, Honorable Babukar Boy, the ECOWAS Commissioner for Free Movement, Mr. Albert Boateng, the Inspector General of the Gambia Police Force and the former Director General of Gambia Immigration Department, Mr. Sidi Muhtari Toure, the representative of the Commissioner General, Republic of the Gambia, GRA, the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, Gambia Armed Forces, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished members of the press, of course, senior government officials here present, including the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, all other protocols duly and respectfully observed. We welcome you to the 8th edition of the ECOWAS Heads of Immigration Forum 2024, currently starting here in Banjul at this prestigious Sadauda Kairaba Jawara International Conference Center, this 23rd day of September 2024. This particular convergence is an annual gathering, is an annual event that brings together heads of immigration services within the ECOWAS bloc to sit around the table and discuss and seek solutions to emerging mobility and migration challenges confronting ECOWAS as a bloc. It is a privileged moment that we have the opportunity to interact with our colleagues and find prompt and adequate solutions to issues that are confronting our people, I mean the community citizens. I am Chief Superintendent Mamanding S. Diba. I am the Public Relations Officer for Gambia Immigration Department, and I am privileged to be your Master of Ceremony for this auspicious forum. But before I proceed with the rest of my duties today as the MC, I would want to be accorded this singular opportunity to allow me recognize the presence of some very high-profile dignitaries here in our presence. These are delegates from all around the ECOWAS bloc, serving in the capacity of head of immigration services in their various countries. We want to take this moment to humbly recognize the presence of the head of delegation from Ghana, the Republic of Ghana, the head of delegation from the Republic of Togo, the head of delegation from the Republic of Cape Verde, the head of delegation from the Republic of Liberia, the head of delegation from the Republic of Guinea, the head of delegation from the Republic of Sierra Leone, the head of delegation from the sister Republic of Senegal, and the head of delegation from the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. I want to profoundly appreciate the presence of the chairperson of the ECOWAS Heads of Immigration Forum, who is, of course, the Commissioner General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The CG of Nigeria, Madam Kem Nanda, is the chairperson of this important forum. CG Nigeria is the chairperson of this forum on the basis that the authority of ECOWAS heads of states and government sits in Abuja, Nigeria. And it is obvious that Nigeria presides over ECOWAS meetings, both at technical and ministerial levels. So I am humbled to recognize the presence of the chairperson for this important forum in the person of the Controller General of the Nigeria Immigration Services. Ladies and gentlemen, we have served the itinerary, the program agenda, to the dignitaries and the members of the high table. But for the benefit of the rest of the people in the hall, we will be announcing the itinerary from the beginning of the proceedings so that those of you who will find it important can take note of it. We will start with a welcoming remark by the Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, and this will be followed by a remark by the Director of Free Movement of Persons and Migration at ECOWAS, and this will be followed with a remark by the Chairperson of the Heads of Immigration Meeting, and then we have an opening remark by the Honorable Minister of Interior, Republic of the Gambia, or his designate. After that, we will proceed on with a group photo to be specified by the protocol, and this group photo will require the participation of the members of the high table and the distinguished delegates from the respective countries that we have mentioned earlier. The rest of the people in the hall will be excused from this activity. Then we will have a coffee break, and right after the coffee break, we will proceed on the Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, who is of course the host, to kindly come and deliver his welcoming remarks. DG, you're welcome, sir.
Who doubles again as the Minister for the Public Service here present, acknowledging the Inspector General of Police, who was our very Director General of Immigration here present, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, Asantangara, ECOWAS Commission Director of Free Movement, Mr. Albert Boateng, the Chairperson of ECOWAS, Heads of Immigration, representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, representative of the Gambia Revenue Authority, all heads of immigration, representatives from our very good partners here present, the IOM, DCAF, Guardia Civil, COP GID, development partners, and of course, the friends of the GID, the media fraternity. I will also extend greetings to those who supported this event, the JAR Oil, our bilateral cooperation partners, Germany, the EU liaison officer, Italy Corporations, Netherlands. Good morning. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I welcome you to the smiling coast of Africa, Banjul, the Gambia, for the 8th Annual Heads of Immigration Forum, a 2-day event of great significance to our region. On behalf of the Gambia, Immigration Department, and the government of the Gambia, I extend warmest greetings to all participants and express gratitude to the ECOWAS Commission for organizing this important gathering. I will take a break to acknowledge the presence of my Deputy Director General, Madam Hule Jallo, General Jahate, who is Assistant Director General, and all commissioners, team of the GID for organizing such a wonderful event all through. This forum centered around the theme acceleration of deployment of the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card, NBIC, and the abolition of the 90-day stay limit, that is residence permits for community citizens, provides us with an exceptional platform for community citizens to address the critical issues surrounding free movement of our community members, challenges and migration governance in the region. As we converge here today, we are not only reaffirming our collective commitment to the principles of regional integration, but also recognizing the vital role immigrations play in fostering socio-economic development across, within, and among ECOWAS. The establishment of the Heads of Immigration Forum by ECOWAS Commission demonstrates our collective vision of ensuring free movement of persons, goods, and services. Over the years, the forum has served as a crucial platform for member states to engage, deliberate, and collaborate on emerging issues related to mobility, border management, and migration. Today, we continue this tradition of unity as we work towards overcoming the challenges associated with cross-border related issues, mobility, while capitalizing on the opportunities it brings for our region's growth. As the host of this year's forum, the Gambia is particularly proud to showcase its progress in the implementation of the 1975 ECOWAS Treaty and its protocols. The Gambia Immigration Department, GID in brief, remains deeply committed to ensuring the domestication and enforcement of the ECOWAS free movement protocols, which serves as a foundation for the rights of ECOWAS citizens to move freely, reside, and establish where desired, sans frontières. We have come a long way in implementing these regional obligations, and our progress in areas such as the issuance of biometric identification documents, border control, mobility management, stands as a testament to our collective dedication on agreements and policy decisions. I would like to take this opportunity to highlight the efforts undertaken by the government of the Gambia and the GID to support the deployment of the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card. This initiative is not merely about providing identification. It is about creating a seamless and secure mechanism for our citizens to exercise their rights to free movement, access opportunities, and contribute to the region's collective development. Since the launch of the biometric system in 2018, the Gambia has made significant strides in enhancing the issuance and management of national documents. Our partnerships with information technology companies, European Union, UN agencies, bilateral and development partners, and stakeholders has allowed us to improve with efficiency and accessibility to vital services. The government of the Gambia and the Ministry of Interior endeavor tirelessly to strengthen issuance of biometric ID cards, ensuring that all ECOWAS citizens in the Gambia have access, secure, and recognized documentation. We have introduced identity border management control systems designed to safeguard the integrity of our borders, and secure documentation is made available to both Gambians and non-Gambians alike in full compliance of the ECOWAS protocol. Honorable Minister, distinguished patrons and delegates, participants, and of course, I still acknowledge our media friends, we are aware that the road to achieving full regional integration requires continued dedication, resources and resource mobilization, and a shared vision to better the lives of our community citizens through free movement. It is also important to recognize push factors of migration affecting the sub-region and provide durable solutions through economic-led migration, climate change-led migration, political and human rights-led migration, a phenomenon triggering resilience for good governance and economic stability, hence this meeting. The government of the Gambia is committed to providing the necessary technological infrastructure and capacity required for GID. Our goal is not only control, but fully complying with regional and international standards. I believe that the security sector reform have and will continue to provide immigration officers with the tools, skills, and training needed to meet the demands of today's complex border management environment. Going forward, the Gambia will continue to support initiatives that facilitate visa-free entry for ECOWAS nationals and the abolition of the 90-day stay limit. This is a critical step in realizing the vision of regional citizenship and creating an environment that promotes trade, investment, human capital development across the sub-region. As we gather here today, let us not forget the importance of collaboration, the challenges we face, from managing cross-border migration to securing our borders, require partnership and shared strategies. My ministry, Interior, through the Foreign Affairs, will continue to explore bilateral and multilateral partnerships to enhance the capacity of the GID. Exchange programs, study tours, and policy training will remain integral to our efforts to learn from best practices across the region and beyond. And I'm proud to say that from history, 30 years ago, when immigration was hid from the police, we had advisory from Nigeria. And it is still a desired cooperation from the Gambia to link up with Nigeria. And these are some of the things that the IGP here present laid down to us before he was appointed IGP. And we want to explore this opportunity. In conclusion, as we embark on this forum, I encourage each of us to engage openly and collaboratively. Take advantage of this opportunity to share experiences, address our challenges, and create solutions that benefit our entire region. The GID is committed to being an active partner in the journey, and we look forward to deepening our relationships with our fellow ECOWAS members. Once again, I extend a warm welcome to all participants. I hope that your time here in Banjul will be fruitful and that the discussions we hold will lead to a meaningful outcome for the future of immigration management and regional integration within ECOWAS. God bless the Gambia. God bless the ECOWAS community. Thank you very much.
For us to be able to mitigate irregular migration and crimes like trafficking in persons, international organized crimes, to name but just a few. These things will allow the community of states to be able to facilitate and promote free movement of persons and goods, as well as promote the right to entry, right to residence, and right to establishment within the ECOWAS space, which is a cornerstone for the deliberations in the next 48 hours. Before we move on to the next speaker, there is a short video that will depict part of the Director General's remarks. And control room, can you bring in the video, please?
The Gambia is a member of ECOWAS, and for that being the case, we are committed to the ECOWAS protocol on free movement of persons, goods, and services. ECOWAS citizens don't need any visa to come into the Gambia. All what they need is to fulfill the entry requirements by presenting a valid traveling document to the border control officers, and this will accord them 90 days free stay in the country.
When passengers arrive on our decks, we take their ID card or passport, we slot them inside the document reader, we take their information, where they are going to, their destination, their fingerprint, and their picture. We save it. When it's ID card, we give it to them. When it is passport, we refer them inside for stamping.
It's going to be there for 2 months. Now, we are going to travel to Italy. Yes. So now we are going back. Now, go back.
When passengers arrive at this booth, we normally enroll them into minor system. We take their information and all the information required on the passengers. So we have officers on the highway who will align them into queues, arrival and departure slot. And when they come here, it's a departure slot where we will take their information, it's either the passport or the identification card. We will put it into the document reader, where the document reader will scan the MRZ show, and the information will pop it into our Midas interface. And we will also engage the travelers, and we ask them questions where they are going and where they are coming from and their purpose of visit before we admit them into the country.
At the expiration of the 90 days free stay, community citizens who wish to continue staying in the Gambia can go to the nearest immigration station and obtain the relevant permit, that is the residence permit. This residence permit will allow community citizens to stay in this country, establish a business or work, and enjoy total freedom and security like any other citizen of the Gambia. This is my house. This is where I live with my wife and my children. This is my last born, Abdouaid. And this is the car we used to take them to school. When I came from Nigeria, it was tough. I came by land. And my money got finished at Senegal. So I have to go to mosque there in Kaula. They contribute money for me to come to Gambia. When I came, they were using 20 share. So we introduced Sufa to them. And right now, you can see now when you go to Westfield or you go to Taboko Tokusa, most of these boys, majority, 90%, I'm the one who trained them. And I've trained more than 5,000 people in this country. So all these little children you are seeing, they are all going to school. When they have more, they will come for their practical in the afternoon. When it's afternoon, they will come in the morning for their practical. I spent 22 years here in the Gambia before going back to Nigeria to go and see my dad and my mom. I know Gambia more than Nigeria. Gambians, they really help me. Even when I want to marry, the time I'm buying this compound, is Gambia who will stand for me. Whatever I'm doing, is Gambia who will stand for me. Whatever, they are nice people. I have property at Brikama and I have property also at Daruzumba, which is mine. I love this country, and with my determination, yes, I'm not going back. This country, I love this country, I'm going to stay.
We have seen from the entry point where people arrive, how they are attended to, how they are given their entitled 90 days free stay in the country, and proceeding into the country to obtaining the relevant permit after the 90 days stay, and of course, thereby starting a work in the formal sector or setting up, a skilled business. So this gentleman there, Mohammed, is a Nigerian migrant who is well established in this country, and we even gave him a wife from Badin. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, I would want to deeply apologize to the Republic of Benin for jumping the protocols, for not observing, the presence of the team leader when I was making mention of the rest of the colleagues from the bloc. I have this honor to respectfully observe the presence of the head of delegation from the Republic of Benin. Thank you. At this point, we will proceed with remarks from the dignitaries, and this time we want to call on the Commissioner General, the Controller General rather, the Controller General of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is the chairperson of the ECOWAS Heads of Immigration Forum, in the honorable person of Madam Kemnana Nanda. Welcome.
The Minister of Public Service, here present, every representing the Minister of Interior, the Inspector General of Police, who was also the former DG of Immigrations, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, the Director of ECOWAS Free Movement, the representative of Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambian Armed Forces, the Controller General of the Gambian Immigration Service, all Controller Generals here present of Immigration Services across the ECOWAS region, and also their representatives, representatives of all international organizations here present, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you all. It is with great pleasure and honor that I stand before you today at this 8th ECOWAS Annual Heads of Immigration Forum, to be held from September 23rd to 24th, 2024, in our sister republic of the Gambia. I bring you good wishes and felicitation from the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, the current chairman of the authority of ECOWAS Head and Government. I wish right now to thank the people and government of the Republic of the Gambia for providing the space to host this all-important forum. Most importantly, the ECOWAS Commission deserves to be highly appreciated for its steadfastness in upholding unwavering commitment towards strengthening regional integration and ensuring the implementation of the Free Movement Protocol as a African. Technically and professionally, we're all gathered here as co-pilots in the sustained drive to foster greater regional integration, devoid of any encumbrance to free movement, residence, and establishment that should lack of policy practice nexus for ECOWAS as a regional body. Therefore, the theme of this annual meeting, acceleration of the implementation of the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card, and the abolition of the 90-day stay limit or residence permit for community citizens, becomes very apt in the realization of this key deliverable. We are reminded that the ambition that existed in the ECOWAS undertaking of obstacles to the free movement of persons, goods, first identified in the 1975 formation stage. The 1979 Protocol on the Free Movement of Persons, Right of Residence and Establishment was the first protocol to be ratified by its member states. The ECOWAS initiatives provided for the progressive implementation of the rights of entry, residence, and establishment for community citizens within the region, to be completed in 3 phases within 15 years. In the first phase, a right of entry and stay for up to 90 days, allowing ECOWAS citizens with valid travel documents and international health certificates to enter the territory of other ECOWAS states without visas and entry permits was implemented. In the second phase, a right of residence has been rendered possible via the introduction of residence permits. However, the third phase of right of establishment remains a work in progress. Situational analysis so far. You have all been part of the progressive and phased implementation of this integration initiative considered as a model in Africa, and you are all a strong partner in our future strategy to improve on the gains made so far. The revised ECOWAS Treaty of 1993 affirmed the validity of the rights of entry, residence, and establishment, and this further strengthened free movement in West Africa, being a thematic priority of the Migration Dialogue in West Africa, MIDWA, that was established in the year 2000. The ECOWAS Common Approach to Migration was adopted in 2008, transiting towards a solidified and integrated migration management. The ECOWAS Common Approach enabled stronger national mechanisms related to coordination on how to deal with cross-cutting issues, including policy harmonization, irregular migration, and the promotion of the rights of migrants and refugees. The capstone of the ECOWAS Free Movement Protocol was the adoption of a Common Travel Certificate in 1985 and the ECOWAS Common Passport in year 2000. Finally, the ECOWAS National Biometric Card, the NBIC, was a decision of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government. The protocol relating to free movement of persons, residents, and establishments. It came on board then. We need to accept that in theory, these strategies are working, but in practice, there are problems related to national divergencies, and why several initiatives have not yet been mainstreamed in national policies. In other words, we need to strategize for a collective resolve to accelerate and implement the NBIC component and abolish the 90-day stay limits and conditions of residence permit for citizens. In addition, once more called to duty, provide an accurate proposal guide strategic planning and decision making. Emerging transnational challenges include irregular migration, such as smuggling of migrants, human trafficking, and infiltration of foreign terrorist fighters through porous borders in West Africa. This has rendered the security of member states' national borders difficult to manage. We also face problems with legal identity management and the integrity of travel documents in the region among citizens. I wish to state categorically that border security threats do not necessarily result from free movement, but from the capacities. National interests remain a main factor why the protocol on free movement appears distorted in some instances. The absence of harmonized has also led to misconceptions related to complex scenarios such as lack of digitalized civil registration and domestication of national mechanisms of border management. Beyond these, there are connected issues of inadequate resources, and most importantly, the political willpower to implement some of the decisions of ECOWAS, especially where they are non-binding in context. Identifying the core challenges inhibiting the free movement of the regimes allows us to innovate solutions, priority, and how we can collectively build capacity towards alleviating such challenges. Firstly, the heads of immigration meetings needs to come up with a framework for finding a balance between the informality and formality required to track migration patterns, prevent smuggling and trafficking of humans, and other security issues, data management, and intelligence sharing amongst member states. The policy framework on mobility is generally framed as a model of regional mobility, and apart from visa-free regimes, the residency and establishment rights are far from being implemented, and this constitutes the agenda for this strategic meeting of heads of immigration. We have to bear in mind that the visa-free entry, a means of identity, is required to cross the national borders for security reasons. I do not see this as an obstacle for the local people who do not have valid travel documents, but as an opportunity for transformation of migration management using the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity, which has been proposed and is operationally deployed in some member states in the region. This is envisaged to reduce the interface between the community citizens and law enforcement agencies, and also to reduce the abuse of migrants' rights. Free movement has been elevated to an ideal status, and it is our collective responsibility to strengthen the process of implementation for the benefit of community citizens. I strongly believe that the prospects are better and brighter for the future, and this requires stronger coordination, stronger roles for ECOWAS to ensure coherence and commitment to specific priorities for migration governance. This includes providing the infrastructure and capacity building for nations that are yet to meet the strategic aims and objectives of the policy frameworks. We are all interested stakeholders in this policy direction, and what is required is a strong commitment to respect what free movement and mobility mean in the ECOWAS context. And most importantly, the new agenda to implement the ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card, and how the abolishment of the 90-day stay limit or the residence permit for community citizens should be implemented without hindrance. Let me also use this opportunity to say a big welcome to you all. And I do hope that at the conclusion of our deliberations, we shall come up with agreed strategies towards a successful, harmonized, accelerated implementation of the integrated policies of ECOWAS as set out in the agenda for this forum. I thank you all for your attention. Next.
Of course, the abolition of the 90 days free stay and residence permit in the region. This goes to say that the aspirations of the founding fathers of ECOWAS is being realized gradually to make ECOWAS a borderless community and a free community for the citizens to move around, do business, and reside. Thank you very much, Madam, for that beautiful and eloquent remark. I now have the honor to invite the Director of Free Movement at ECOWAS, Mr. Boateng, to kindly deliver a remark on this auspicious occasion.
Honorable Minister, present, Madam Chairperson of the heads of immigration, DG of the Gambian Immigration Department, IGCD, heads of immigration here present. Let me stand on existing protocols. Welcome everybody here. Once the DG of the Gambia, the Republic of the Gambia, has spoken, and the Controller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, and also complementing that with the video that we watched, my speech is finished. But there are a few things that I need to mention, which we may all also like to think through whilst we are deliberating. If you look at the protocol of 2011, resident permits were abolished. A few of us know, but this is where we need to bring all these things into action, translate it into real action. Let us try as much as possible to implement that in our various member states. We will get into the details once we get into closed door, but I'm only adding that to what the DG of the GID, Madam Chairperson, has also mentioned, and others complementing by the video. There's something we also saw. It's about labor migration. These are things we also need to start thinking about. Also, let us use this platform that we have to make a concerted effort in terms of implementation. Various member states are different levels of implementation, but then what we need is the harmonization of what we all agree here, the decisions we make and we take. And also, this is what we use in escalating to the ministers in charge of immigration management or immigration services. And that is what we would also use in terms of escalating that to the ministers of, well, we call it Council of Ministers. Those decisions we make here, quite sensitive, but let us be as truthful as possible to ourselves, and let's see what the challenges are. Other member states may have it very easy in terms of implementation, others will not, because nobody ever thought that we were going to be thinking of health and security management. These are things we should be mindful of in terms of the various discussions we are going to have. And at this point, let me just also add and welcome all of you, that's the heads of immigration here present, for honoring this invitation. All the member states we invited, everybody is here very well represented. Guinea-Bissau arrives tonight, but it does not exclude them from the discussions we are going to have today. The thing is, once we agree on it, we define our reports, finalize, and agree on the points that are very sensitive and critical. Those points that may hamper in terms of final decisions, we may know how to manage it. But at this point, I thank you all for being here present and for honoring ECOWAS's Commission invitation. Thank you very much.
Some good remarks. It is obvious that members are committed to this business of creating a borderless state, and that is why, as he alluded to, members are implementing, even though we are at different levels of implementations. Thank you very much, Director. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the next speaker, we will invite the police band to give us a short interlude of music before we bring in the key government representative of DCAF, that is the Geneva Center for Security Sector Governance, the representative of the COPE Gambia project, that is a Spanish partner to the Gambia, and we want to recognize the presence of the Spanish diplomatic antenna in the Gambia, and all other partners that are here present in the hall. We want to duly recognize your presence. We equally take this privilege to recognize the presence of the National Assembly Select Committee on Defense and Security, headed by the Honorable Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Sidi Eskenjai. Ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, please allow me to call on the Honorable Minister of Public Service, Honorable Babukar Boy, to deliver a statement on behalf of the Honorable Minister of the Interior, Republic of the Gambia.
Mr. Chairman and Master of Ceremony, the Inspector General of Police of the Republic of the Gambia, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Interior, members of the National Assembly Select Committee on Defense and Security here present, the Chairperson of Heads of Immigration Meeting, the Director General Immigration Department of the Republic of the Gambia, Director of Free Movement, ECOWAS, distinguished heads of immigration here present, representative of the Gambia Chief of Defense Staff, esteemed partners of the Immigration Department of the Gambia, representatives of the ECOWAS Commission here in the Gambia, esteemed delegates, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is with great honor and pride that I stand before you today, representing the government of the Gambia and the Ministry of Interior, as we welcome you to the 8th Annual Heads of Immigration Forum here in Banjul. On behalf of the government of the Gambia, I extend our deepest gratitude to the ECOWAS Commission for selecting the Gambia as the host of this critical platform for dialogue, exchange, and collaboration. This year's forum, with the theme, my quote, acceleration of the deployment of the ECOWAS National Identity Card, NBIC, and the abolition of the 90-day stay limit / residence permits for the community citizens, end of quote, marks a significant moment in our collective journey towards deeper regional integration, mobility, and economic cooperation across West Africa. It is a testament to our shared commitment to the ideals of free movement, mutual support, and sustainable development. Since its inception, the Heads of Immigration Forum has been instrumental in bringing together senior officials from across the region to address the challenges and opportunities in migration and border management. The forum has emerged as a vital platform for harmonizing our policies, addressing mobility issues, and most importantly, promoting the full implementation of the ECOWAS Free Movement Protocol. This protocol remains a powerful tool for fostering socio-economic growth, and we in the Gambia are proud to play a role in advancing its objectives. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the theme of this year's forum could not be more timely. The ECOWAS National Biometric Identity Card represents more than a document. It symbolizes full region where our citizens can move, seek opportunities, and contribute to the development of our region, as was amply demonstrated through that video we saw earlier. The Gambia remains fully committed to accelerating the deployment of NBIC and ensuring that the protocols on the free movement of persons, residents, and establishment are upheld and respected. In this regard, I would like to reaffirm the government of the Gambia's unwavering commitment to supporting the Gambia Immigration Department. We recognize that for the GID to fully comply with the equipped with the necessary tools, infrastructure, and skilled personnel. And as the minister responsible for the public service, I'm making this undertaking. Therefore, the Ministry of Interior has prioritized investments in technology, capacity building, and modern innovations to ensure that the GID operates at the highest level of efficiency. One significant step in this direction is the government's commitment to ensure in line with the spirit of regional cooperation and the unite us. The rights of ECOWAS citizens to enter, reside, and establish businesses must be protected and upheld, and the Gambia remains dedicated to creating a conducive environment for all ECOWAS citizens. Moreover, the ongoing security sector reform initiative in the Gambia reflects our government's continued commitment to enhancing the capabilities of our security and immigration services. Despite the modest size of our immigration workforce, we are determined to strengthen border management through comprehensive training, skills development, and infrastructural support. A well-trained and equipped GID is critical to ensuring both the security of our borders and the facilitation of free movement within our region. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move forward with our reform agenda, it is important to note that the Gambia does not work in isolation. The Ministry of Interior, in close collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, will continue to seek bilateral and multilateral partnerships with regional and international partners. We believe that cooperation through exchange programs, study tours, policy alignment, and specialized training is essential for the GID to meet the demands of today's interconnected world. In this era of globalization and migration, no nation can tackle the complexities of border management on its own. Our hope is that through enhanced partnerships, we can consolidate the achievements of the GID and ensure that our immigration operations align with best practices across the ECOWAS region. We are confident that the collaborations initiated here in Banjul will serve as a catalyst for greater integration, capacity building, and shared success in the months and years ahead. Lastly, I would like to propose the establishment of a regional technical working group for the Immigration Directors General. This group, chaired on a rotational basis, should have clearly defined terms of reference, roles, duties, and responsibilities. Its primary purpose would be to prepare and present key resolutions for consideration by the Directors General, ensuring that proposals are thoroughly vetted before submission to the ECOWAS Commission. This structured approach will enhance our collaborative efforts and ensure alignment with our broader goals of regional integration and security. In conclusion, as this forum draws to a close, I encourage you to see Banjul not just as a host city, but as a renewed symbol of cooperation and friendship. Upon your return to your respective countries, I hope the dialogue and collaboration will continue with the Gambia through the GID, reaffirming its commitment to working closely with our ECOWAS family. Together, we can ensure well-managed and secure borders that contribute to the growth and prosperity of our region. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I have the singular honor and privilege to declare the 8th annual Head of Immigration Forum officially open, and I thank you all for your kind attention.
Of globalization, when no nation can in isolation. He further went to make a very significant proposal, that is a proposal for a technical structure among the heads of immigration in the ECOWAS bloc. So I think the minister did not say, deliver a long speech, but well loaded, that we can have a lot of takeaways from this. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the apex of the first segment of these proceedings today. And the next thing on the itinerary will be a group photo. Like we have initially announced, the group photo will be staged outside that the protocol will designate. I think it is somewhere outside there. And the VIPs, that is the members of the high table and the distinguished delegates, will be taken to the photo spot where we will take a group photo.
No,